Hello homemakers, I'm Melinda and I'm cooking my way through Betty Crocker's 1971 recipe card library, and today we're making banana spice cookies. Banana spice cookies are from section G, Come for Coffee, and it's card number 15. And I'm really excited about this card. I mean, the cookies are going to be delicious. I think they're going to be easy to make. I think they're going to be incredible. But I'm excited because I don't think I've told you guys this before, but my recipe card library was missing a card when I bought it. It was not a complete set. The only card that was missing was banana spice cookies. And I was really bummed about it, and I'd been like trolling people on Etsy trying to find this card to complete my set. And then last weekend, I was walking through the East Village, and I came across this adorable little cookbook store. It's called Bonnie Slotnick's Cookbooks, and it's all these kind of out of print and antique and rare cookbooks from around the world. She had a whole section on Betty Crocker. I bought several cookbooks, which I'll show you later today. But it's a really cool store, and Bonnie was super helpful. I told her all about my project, and she was like, oh, I have a bag of recipe cards, and we found banana spice cookies. So I'm making these today in honor of Bonnie. You guys should check out her website. I'll put it down below. So let's get started. All right, let's take a look at the ingredients. For banana spice cookies, we need a half cup of shortening, some brown sugar, 2 eggs, a cup of mashed bananas, 2 cups of gold medal flour, must be gold medal, some baking powder, some baking soda, salt, cinnamon, clove, chopped nuts, and then we are putting a lemon butter icing on, so we need some softened butter, some confectioner sugar, and then the juice and zest of a lemon. The first step to making banana spice cookies is to mix the shortening, sugar, eggs, and banana. So we need a half cup of shortening. Look what my friend got me. These really cute Betty Crocker measuring cups. Now I have a full set. What do we need? A half cup? Wow. Shortening is weird. We don't love it. Okay, half cup of shortening. This is a cup of packed brown sugar. I already measured it. 2 eggs and banana. Okay. Second egg? I've never had banana cookies before, but I imagine they're going to be similar to like banana bread. Okay, I don't really know how I'm gonna have a cup of mashed banana. I guess I'll just put it in the cup and mash it with a fork. Oh yeah, 1 banana was only like less than half a cup. Ew, mashed banana is so gross. All right, into the bowl with the rest. Okay, we're mixing our wet ingredients together. Why do you use shortening? Shortening's so bizarre. Okay. I think we just move on. All right, chopping half a cup of nuts. Okay, I nailed that. That's exactly a half cup. Perfection. Stir in the remaining ingredients. So we have our half cup of chopped nuts. We have our 2 cups of gold medal flour. You have to make a mess when you're making cookies. I guess I could do this over the bowl. 2 cups of flour. Okay, this is 1 cup. 2 cups. I feel like modern recipes would have you mix all the dry ingredients separately to make sure that the baking soda and the baking powder is very incorporated before you put everything in, but I'm following the instructions on this card, so I'm just stirring in the remaining ingredients as directed. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. This makes, by the way, this makes 3.5 dozen cookies. This makes a lot of cookies. 2 teaspoons. And then 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And then 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then 1/4 teaspoon of clove. 1/4 teaspoon. Boom. All right, let's stir everything together. This looks like cookie dough, right? Got some banana chunks, got some nut chunks. She says to cover it and chill for about an hour. All right, so it's time to start dropping spoonfuls of dough onto this baking sheet. She just says a heaping teaspoonful. We're gonna go every 2 inches or so. And then once these are ready to go, I'll put them in the oven at 375 for about 8 to 10 minutes. These are ready to go into the oven. All right, so while the cookies are in the oven, I thought we could do a little Betty history. As I mentioned, I bought a couple cookbooks over the weekend, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the history of Betty's most famous cookbook. For decades after Betty's inception, homemakers were making her recipes, and some had become family favorites, but they weren't really collected in one place. So in 1942, General Mills came out with a short paperback book that was about 220 pages. It was just about desserts and baking, and women could order it through the mail for 25 cents. So this first little cookbook was a hit, and so General Mills wanted to start working on an even bigger and better iteration, and that became the now classic Betty Crocker's Picture Cookbook, also known as Big Red. It's been a bestseller ever since, and it's now in its 9th edition of printing and has sold over 30 million copies. This is the first edition from 1950, which I got last weekend. This is a second edition, 1956. It was my great-grandmother's. You can see this one is a 3-ring binder. They had them both as 3-ring binders and as hardcovers. And then this, I also got last weekend, is the 4th edition from 1969. So the book is kind of a culmination of over a half century of recipe development and testing and iterating. And the General Mills team realized that the 48 people they had on staff were not enough, so they had to restructure their company. They made Marjorie Child Husted editor-in-chief, and they worked for over 10 years to develop this book. When it came out in 1950, it became a national bestseller right away. It was #2 to the Bible. There were other cookbooks that were doing pretty well at the time, like Better Homes and Gardens cookbook and The Joy of Cooking, but they didn't have the marketing power that General Mills did, and that's why it soared in the charts. So here's some statistics on the book. It has 16 sections covering every meal of the day, from soup to nuts, quote unquote. It has over 2,000 recipes and over 600 instructional photos, step-by-step photos, which is really innovative at the time because most women were never told how to do things, like how to knead bread, and recipes didn't give you step-by-step instructions. So to have these photos step-by-step was really helpful. In addition to recipes, they had things like meal planning tips, how to entertain, how to store food, how to set a table. There's also these really whimsical elements to the book. There were poems and there were illustrations of happy homemakers and their husbands and their children. It's just a really fun, entertaining book that was really happy and uplifting. It also had quotes from real women with some of the recipes saying why they liked a specific recipe. It also had historical facts and figures and little tidbits. My favorite part of the book is throughout the book it says, in Betty Crocker's handwriting, "all you have to do," which was kind of her catchphrase to show how easy and simple it could be to cook. And I think what's important about this book is that it came out in a time where there was this shift from homemade whole food cooking to processed convenience cooking, and it was kind of this cookbook that pushed America over the edge to start cooking with more convenience foods. And it was Betty Crocker who was saying it's okay to use canned vegetables instead of fresh. And I think that's really interesting. It's not great. I definitely am happy that people are cooking with more whole foods now again, but I think that while Betty Crocker's had done so many things after this cookbook, I think it will always be a major cultural touch point in culinary history, and I think it's her crowning achievement. Okay, so while the cookies are cooling, I am going to make the lemon butter icing. So we're going to start with 1/3 cup of softened butter and 3 cups of confectioner sugar, and I'm going to beat that together. I guess I add the lemon juice now. Okay, so I'm going to zest the lemon into the powdered sugar butter mixture, and then I'll add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I guess now it's doing something. Whoa. I think that's spreading consistency. Okay, our cookies are cool and they're very like spongy. They are kind of like banana bread. I'm excited to try these. I'm gonna put the lemon icing on, a few of them, and then we'll get tasting. The icing's really thick. I'm afraid I'm gonna like break the cookie when I ice it. Ooh. Like maybe I could use more lemon juice. I don't know. Oh, we might be okay. I'm also intrigued by the lemon banana combo here. It's not something you see every day. Xylophone artist outside today. Hey, time to taste one of these cookies. Yeah, these are perfect. They're incredible. The lemon frosting is very strong. It almost kind of like overpowers the banana. But you still get banana. And it definitely tastes like banana bread, especially with the walnuts in it. It's like a cookie. No complaints. And I think it's the right size. It's the right amount of frosting to cookie ratio. Betty knows what she's doing when it comes to cookies. Other things, not so much, but cookies? If I came for coffee to someone's house and they had these cookies, I'd be pleased. There's not much else to say. Light, fluffy, very flavorful, delicious. Banana spice cookies. We made them, they were delicious. I really have no complaints. It's a weird cookie because it's very fluffy, it's almost like a cake, and then both the flavors aren't like very cookie-like flavors. It's almost like this cookie is kind of the love child of a lemon poppy seed cake and a banana walnut bread. If they had a baby, it would be these cookies. But because I'm definitely getting heavy bread vibes from both of them, banana bread vibes. So very interesting combination, but I didn't hate it. I think it worked. The walnut definitely helped kind of bring everything together. So I'm pleased with it. My one critique, I guess, with any cookie of this type, which I've made other cookies like it before, is that it's hard to like ice all of these and stack them and store them and like bring them somewhere, because you really can't stack soft cookies like this and not cookies with this kind of frosting. So a little precarious to manage, but pretty delicious. All right, I think I'm gonna give this 5 out of 5 red spoons. Okay, back in the box. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, happy homemaking.